Hello, welcome to Bl-101 New Testament Greek, Lesson 1, Lab, Recognizing Greek Letters. The purpose of this lab is to apply what was learned in Lesson 1, namely the Greek alphabet, Greek diphthongs, and breather marks. It is also to recognize the various letters in the Greek New Testament and to pronounce those various sounds accordingly. The first example we're going to give is John 1:1. You should already be recognizing most, if not all, the Greek letters, and the familiarity of this verse should help you associate easy vocabulary words. I will read off the verse at first and ask you to follow along. Then we will go back over the verse and focus on word clusters. John 1:1. En arche ein hologos, kai hologos, ein pros ton theon, kai theos, ein hologos. The literal translation for this verse would be, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was before the God, and God was the Word. Let's take a look at the first cluster of words. En arche ein logos. Several things you should take note other than the letters itself. The smooth breather marks above the N and the arche, alpha in the arche, and in the eta in the ein. So you have N, arche, ein. But there's a rough breather mark above the omicron, ha. Do you see the shift in the breather marks? One is a soft, the other one is a rough. En arche ein ha logos. Here's the second cluster. Kai ha logos ein pros ton theon. There's your first diphthong, alpha iota in the word kai. That doesn't pronounce kai, it is kai, because the alpha iota is a diphthong. You also notice the rough breather mark above the omicron, ha again. The smooth breather mark is also above the ein, in the eta in the ein. Kai ha logos ein pros ton theon. Here's the final cluster of words we're going to work with in John 1:1. Kai theos ein ha logos. Once again, I'm pointing out the diphthong in the word kai. And notice the theos, that is not a diphthong. So you have two distinct sounds there. Theos. Rough breather mark above the ha in ha logos, and the smooth breather mark in the ein. Ein. Here's example number 2. Very popular verse, John 3:16. I'll read off the entire verse, and then, like before, we'll focus on the clusters. Huto gar agapesen ha theos ton kosmon. Hoste ton huion out to ton monogene edoken. Hina pas ha pistuon ace auton me apoletai al eke zoein ionion. Now focusing on the parts. First cluster, huto gar agapesen ha theos ton kosmon. Notice the diphthong in the first word, huto. Huto. It's the oo sound. It's not ha-ut-to, but it is huto. Also notice the rough breather mark above that diphthong. When you have a diphthong at the beginning of the word, the breather mark will always go above the second vowel. Huto. Here's the second cluster. Hoste ton huion. Autu ton monogene edoken. Note the rough breather mark above the first word, hoste. It's not oste, but it's hoste. Also notice the diphthong in the third word, huion. Huion. It is not huion, it is huion. Fourth word also has two diphthongs. Au, tu, the smooth breather mark above the ow, and the tu, au, tu. Here's the next cluster. Hina, pas, ha, pistuon, ace, auton, me, apoletai. You should be recognizing the rough and the smooth breather marks throughout there. Also the diphthong, pistuon, ace, auton. Notice the diphthongs there. Last cluster. Al, eke, zoane, ionion. Don't confuse that last word, that last the set of vowels there as a diphthong. It is not. It is not ionoin. It is ionion. Okay, now onward to example 3, 1 John 1:1. Ha ein op arches, ha akekoamen, ha heorokamen, tois ophthalmois, hemon, ha etheasametha, kai I keres, hemon, eps el laphesan, peri, tu, lagu, tes, zoes. The first cluster, ha, ein, op, arches. Nothing here that should stand out as being exceptional. The second cluster, ha, akekoamen, ha, heorokamen, tois, ophthalmois, hemon. Notice akekoamen, the O omicron and the alpha are not a diphthong, so it's pronounced akekoamen. The ha heorokamen, tois is a diphthong there. Ophthalmois, another diphthong, and the hemon. Next cluster here is ha etheasametha. Notice the epsilon alpha is not a diphthong. There's no Greek diphthong that has epsilon alpha. English has an EA, which comes across as an E, but this is not a Greek diphthong. So it would be ha etheasametha. Also notice the smooth breather mark above the first epsilon. Okay, last cluster here in 1 John 1:1. Kai, I keres, hemon, eps elaphesan, peri tu, lagu, tes zoes. You have your diphthongs there in the chi and the I, and it is also in the keres. The epsilon unit makes an A sound. Hemon. Here's that really long word. Eps elaphesan. Eps elaphesan. peri, tu, lagu, there's a diphthong there, u is in lagu, tes, zoes. Okay, that wraps up Lab 1 for Lesson 1. The cool thing about YouTube videos, online videos like this, is that you can always rewind the lesson, rewind the lab, go back over your material as many times as necessary. Something you really can't do in a real live classroom, so I'm hoping this will help you out a lot in your studies. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop by ntgreektutor.wordpress.com. Toss me an email, send me a comment. If we have arrangements made, go ahead and give me a call. Be glad to answer any questions if possible. My main focus here is, like I said earlier, it's to help you in your Greek, New Testament Greek studies. And I'm hoping that this will be a benefit to you. Next lesson we're going to deal with is in accents. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time in lesson number 2. With the tools that we have today, it's really not necessary. Some professors do like to spend a lot of times dealing with the structure of accents, and that's very good. It's an excellent move, but this lesson really here is not going to be geared for that. It's just going to be a rough overview of the accents and the various parts of the Greek syllables. Anyway, you take care. God bless you, and hope to hear from you. Take care.